Brad Chandler here from Express Homebuyers. I wanted to share some information with you if you need to sell a parent's house prior to them entering a nursing home. Cindy called Express Homebuyers and spoke with Greg Allen, an acquisition associate. She let him know right away that she was in a very difficult situation. She lived in Kentucky, and her mother-in-law owned and lived in a home on Gallows Rd in the Chatelain Village neighborhood of Annandale, Virginia. Her mother-in-law had dementia and needed to sell her home fast as her health was rapidly declining. Unfortunately, though, Cindy had to move her mother-in-law into a facility that could provide medical care to her around the clock. They didn't have the money to afford this, and they needed to sell her mother-in-law's home quickly. Cindy was concerned about the effects the sale may have on whether Medicaid would cover the expenses of the nursing home care. So, there are 3 instances where a person who qualifies for Medicaid coverage for a nursing home can transfer their home to a member of their family without being subject to a penalty and without Medicaid being entitled to receiving funds from the transfer of the house. The first is the property owner's brother or sister had ownership interest in the home over the last 5 years and lived in the house for at least the previous year. The second is if the property owner has a minor child, blind or disabled child of any age, and the third if the person's adult child, 1, lived in the house for at least 2 years prior to the parents moving into the nursing home, 2, during that time the child cared for the parent, and 3, the care provided by the child allowed the parent to remain in the home. Unfortunately, Cindy and her husband Frank did not qualify for any of the above exceptions. Therefore, they'd have to sell his mother's house to have the needed funds to move her into a nursing home. Greg let them know that Express Homebuyers could help them out by purchasing their home in its as-is condition. Frank's mother had lived in the home for over 45 years and her health had gotten worse and she was unable to keep up with the house. The condition of the house had deteriorated greatly and it was in dire need of major renovation. Cindy and Frank let Greg know that they'd be in Annandale for 1 week to meet with prospective buyers and actually sell the home. Now obviously this limited window of time immediately limited most potential buyers right off the bat. This is because most home investors and home buyers need time to find lenders who will lend them the needed money to buy the home. This is not the case with Express Homebuyers. After buying 1,500 homes, we have the cash to buy any house immediately. Cindy and Frank were very happy to hear that we had the ability to meet them and officially buy the house in just 7 days. So Greg met with Cindy and Frank at the home and gave them a fair offer right away. They asked for a few hours to compare our offer with other offers they had received. They called Greg back later that day and said they wanted to move forward with Express Homebuyers. Greg met them the next day and signed a sales agreement and went over the necessary paperwork. A few days later, Express Homebuyers bought their mother's home. This allowed Frank's mother to move out and into a nursing home to get the necessary care to keep her safe and healthy. If you have to sell a parent's home prior to them entering a nursing home, please call us at the number below for a no-obligation cash offer. As I said, we can buy as is and you can leave unwanted items behind.
Buyers, we buy your house in 7 days.